Hello class, I'm getting a lot of emails. People seem to be pretty confused about what to turn in, so I'm going to try and clarify that. If we look at, first of all, meeting times, um, the meeting times are stated in the syllabus, and oops, not the quiz, in the syllabus. So right here, we can see that the meeting times are stated, and you should probably print this out. It says we meet between 6:29 and 8:02. We'll be meeting for 75 hours. That'll be about 15 hours a week. We'll be meeting weekly at 10 to 11:45 Thursday class sessions. That is in the AM. I wouldn't meet that late at night with students. It will also require about 6 hours a week of independent study. Okay, that's what I'm expecting everybody to do. That's what was written in the syllabus, and that's been in front of you now for a while. That has not changed. I have opened up a second session. You can attend either session. There is a Sunday session, there is a Thursday session. The Sunday session is in the evening, and that was indicated in an announcement. So I'm going to come down here to announcements. Your view looks a little different. The boxes here that have a little strike through, you do not see those, but you do see announcements. These are copies of your emails. I sent out an email earlier today and erroneously put in 10 p.m. So I sent a new one, said look at the orange corrections, modifications in orange. And I said the link is now active in both sites for the Tokitiki site, and then also the time is AM, Thursday AM. That's when we meet. Okay, so that should clear that question up. We meet Thursdays at 10 a.m. each week, and we'll meet Sundays at 8 p.m. Starting this Sunday. Those classes will be duplicates, so you can attend one or the other. You do not need to be at both. If you want to attend both, I'm going to try to set those up as discussions, and you can certainly get more from the class if you attend both. That's our first piece of information. I want to make sure that's clear for everyone. Now, the links that we're going to be using the same link. So this Zoom location is where we meet, either at Thursday at 10 a.m. or Sundays at 8 p.m. But that's an or. You do one or the other. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to do here is we're going to use the timeline, and the timeline is where we're putting images. So let's go back to the welcome page. We have a Unit 2 history. There are due dates right here. Assignment 2 is due on 6/4. Assignment 3 is due on 6/4. That's tomorrow. Okay, they're due before class starts. And then assignments 4 is due on 6/11, and an assignment 5 is due on 6/11. Inside the history folder, inside the folder called Unit 2 History, is a description of what those assignments are, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So write down on a piece of paper that assignments 2 and 3 are due on the 4th. Assignments 4 and 5 are due on the 11th. Doesn't matter which session you're going to meet me in, the assignments are still due on those times. Now, go inside the folder, and you're going to see I always make one of these kind of cover sheets, and the cover sheet describes what we're trying to learn from this unit, like what the point is of the unit. It talks about that. It asks you some basic questions that you need to be thinking about, and then it tells you what the assignments are. The assignment 2 is sketchbook pages for your readings from the Ching textbook. Moving from prehistory to 1 CE, that's assignment 2. So you need at least one page in your sketchbook as you're reading. The other part of assignment 2 is to find the first set of 10 images. Okay? And then assignment 3 is another page in the sketchbook plus another 10 images. Okay? So those are minimums. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to turn these things in different ways. Let's talk about how that works. First of all, what does it mean to have 10 images? This is from the timeline, okay? And the timeline is described, and the whole assignment for the timeline is described in a separate document. This is like an overview, and then you have to read the assignment. The assignment is here. And it tells you, again, it tells you why we're doing this assignment, and it tells you how the assignment works. And so here's the description of the first set of 10 images, okay? And here's the description of the second 10 images. And that's how it works. And you're going to need to find information like this, and this is how it works. There are some points associated with getting this assignment correct. All right? So you're going around and you're going through time and you're finding some images. There's some readings. Here's the readings. And the readings are referred to here. When I say Qing, up from prehistory to 1, then when we go into the look, here's prehistory to 1100. So that's the whole reading. You don't even have to have the textbook in hand. You can do this, anywhere you want. I won't always make copies for you, but at the beginning of the semester I find that some people don't have textbooks yet. And so I make those copies at the beginning of the semester. So these are the readings. If you read through all of this carefully, it all fits together as one thought. Now, I did send you a link here on the cover page, on the welcome page, I think. Let's see, did I send it here? Did not. So there is an email, I think. I sent it in the email, in that announcement. There was a link here that says, I have a video to show you exactly how to get your assignment for the timeline. You can click on this link, it will open that video. It shows you how to do the timeline exercise. And back on the welcome page, here is the history folder, and inside the history folder is a link to the timeline. And you can click on the timeline site right here. Now, I've already recorded how to do this in the other video, so I'm not going to do it here. Somebody has added the Walls of Jericho, and I'm seeing some other people have started to add some events here. We got Stonehenge, we got the pyramids at Giza, there's the one, the Ring of Brodnar. We've got a whole bunch in here that are starting to show up. So I can see people are starting to make that work. Now, one of the things about this site, and I'm going to go ahead and enter as my pretend student. One of the things about this site is it has a limit to how many entries it can have. I think it contains a total of 500 images. And so in the assignment I said have 10 images, and then when I get into the video for it I said just upload your best 7. There shouldn't be any duplicates. So when you're entering these, several of you, for example, probably found Stonehenge. Well, it's already in here. So we don't need 3 Stonehenges. We need a single Stonehenge, right? And we don't need 4 pyramids of Giza, right? We've got the pyramid of Djoser and the pyramid of Giza. And if you have other pyramids, that's okay, but we don't need to have another one of the same pyramid. So, I've only asked you to upload 7 total, okay? So for class tomorrow, we're going to talk about this timeline. So we need the images in here so that we can do that, all right? Because if the timeline's not built, then we won't have anything to talk about, okay? And it should start filling in. So that's what you need to do. You'll need to do the readings and take some notes and then do the timeline exercise. Now back on our website, over here on the cover page, there is a one here called Sketchbook, okay? So this is where you can take pictures of your sketchbook to prove to me that you're taking notes as you read, okay? So when you click on that, oops, let me go to the student view, because I'm still in the teacher mode there. Okay, so when you click on the sketchbook, you'll see it has a total possible of 40 points. That's for the end of the semester. You should be submitting about 4 pages on average every Friday. If you haven't submitted any yet, then by this Friday you should have 8 pages. There's been plenty of reading to take notes on. And that's what the class is about. We're learning a broad spectrum of ideas, and I want you to take notes on what you're thinking about. When you submit these, you can come here to attach files, say browse my computer, and you can upload JPEGs to this site. And then you just click submit. When I go into the grade book, I'm going to take a look at what's in there. I'll show you kind of how that works. Let's go exit the preview. And I'm going to go over to my grade book, Grade Center, and I'll look at the Grade Center. And I can see some of you have sketchbooks installed already. So I'm just going to pick on one of these. I'm going to pick on this one right here. Oops. And go look at attempt. And here's what I get when you make a submission. I can see that you've submitted some information. And I'll be looking in here at the end of the semester, as the semester goes on, I'll be looking to see that you have 40 pages that you've sent in. Fobian is sending these in as PDFs. That works. I'd prefer to have them as JPEGs. They're a little easier to deal with, but a PDF is acceptable also. And when I open this up, I'll simply count how many pages she has put into this and then give her that number of points. And then next week there'll be more, and I'll add to this number. So don't freak out if you only see that you get 4 points out of 40. At the end of the semester, when I look at the grade book, I just add up all the points I've given you, and that's your grade. There's about 110 options for points, so there's extra credit built into the assignments. And you know, it's not uncommon for somebody to do a lot of extra pages in their sketchbook, end up with 130 points for the semester. But you should be putting in at least 4 a week if you expect to get a good grade. Okay? So hopefully that will explain the whole confusion to you. And if you need to, this is a video, so you can always watch it again. And hopefully that will clear up the questions. Thank you for your time.